All right, y'all ready?
Oh, y'all, this is gonna be a fun show tonight.
What's up, old school family? It's us again, your old school boys, and we back here with the 6 to 7 radio show hour at KUAW FM 98.5. And what we're gonna talk about tonight is we having a little bit of a different show. We kind of been on some serious topics over the last several weeks, and this week we want to change it up a little bit to get everybody's input and just to basically get you thinking back to how it was back in the day. When we start off, and before we start off, we just want to let everybody know, whoever can be one of the first few to give us a call in tonight to go back and share either one of your old school moments at home, a certain meal, or even the Kool-Aid combinations. Whichever one we suggest at the end is the best, you will be able to receive a gift from our catalog online, which is our t-shirts, CDs, candles, cups, bottles, or whatever it is that you would choose after we speak to you to let you know you won. So what we going for today, and the topic that we have today is called Back in the Day. And I guess I'll let Cuz kick it off, because we was talking about, for instance, man, you know, the Kool-Aid combinations back when we was growing up was deadly. You know, you had the orange and lemonade. You had, what was it, Cuz? Cherry and what mixed?
I can't remember which two mixes it was, but
You got to talk up.
yeah, everybody know Kool-Aid is where it was at, you know. But I like to just get back to being able to go to the park and play all day, and then, you know, don't have to come on to the street lights. Come on, you know what I'm saying? Didn't have to worry about no danger, nothing. Just play all day, you know. Who in the community want to get back to them days where you can send your kid to the neighborhood park, play all day, don't have to worry about no violence, no negativity, nothing. Nobody trying to snatch them, none of that, you know.
And when you think about it, all that was cool, but I'm saying basically like how we grew up, everything that we did, it was a symbol of everything. You know what I'm saying? Just like, for instance, you know, like I tell people, hey, y'all, I got my son with me today. This is my youngest son, True. Why I'm picky on certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, on pancakes and stuff. You know, I couldn't just do the maple syrup. It had to be the Miss Butterworth that I'm talking about. You remember back when we grew up, the Miss Butterworth would get so sticky around, you couldn't even put the top back on top of it.
Yeah, because the bottle was shaped like her. Yeah, that was the real deal back then. You know, creamy wheat, oatmeal, all of that. You know, back when people actually cooked, but stairs in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? When you had a real waffle iron in your house. You know what I'm saying? And that hot comb and all that. It's the real deal, you know, everything from scratch.
Oh man, when Easter would come, and you know how we used to be upstairs crying for my sister, man, because we knew that when that pressing comb got on that stove, I mean, you know, you hear your sister crying, you want to go down there and help her. And all you hear is your mama saying, damn, if you hold your head still, I wouldn't burn you. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that right there, boy, I used to hate when the Christmas or Easter came and it was time to get that hair pressed, because I asked my sister, even to this day, did that pressing comb really hurt? Or did you just, she said, boy, you could feel when mama would have it on your head and it'd be by your ears, it would be hot and everything. But it was just things though, man, like that kept us together. You know, like I tell my son all the time, you know, the movie days, you know, you had that auntie or somebody had the station wagon or that deuce in the quarter, man. It was about 13 kids laying in the trunk quiet.
Right. Yeah.
And hey,
$5 a car. But it'd be like 20 kids in the car. You
yep.
know?
And once you get pulled up and you open that trunk, everybody just jumped out and went over to the playground.
Right. When they actually had a playground at the movie theater.
Yeah.
You know, now you don't see that. You can't, you know, it's hard to convince kids all that exists. You know?
Yeah. You know, even the candy stores we had before school started and after school started.
Yeah. Before you went to school, the candy store was open. Neighborhood restaurants, grocery store, all that was going. Pharmacy, yeah. Back when the bottle pop was going on.
You had to pull it out of the machine.
Right. You drink a bottle of Coke back then, your nose be hurt.
Oh yeah, that Coke we had back in them days, boy.
Yeah.
You wasn't no such thing as no sinus infections. No. Wasn't no sinus infections, man.
Right.
But you remember we had that vest in the hood.
Right.
It was all strawberry, root beer.
But it tastes just like what it said on the can.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Pina colada tastes like pina colada.
Same thing with chocolate now laters.
Yeah.
They was real chocolate when we was growing up, man.
Right.
Have you eat them strawberries, your tongue was red like that for about 3 days.
Man, they changed up when it went to 10 in a pack. 6 in a pack.
When it was 6 in the pack,
right.
It was.
Or the jawbreaker. They dare you to eat that jawbreaker.
Oh man. Yeah.
Candy necklace, all of that. I remember all that.
Oh, the candy necklace was nice.
The little wax soda in the bottom.
Oh, you talking about the plastic things that had that liquid in them? That when you bite them, it came out. Hey, but do you remember the one with the 2 little white sticks in there, and you dip them in the
fun dip.
The fun dip.
Fun dip.
Man, that was straight sugar.
Right.
Yeah.
We was eating straight packs of sugar.
Right.
Right.
But even sugar is different,
Yeah.
And the point is what we want to
it
get
went
back
to a
to.
5-pound bag. It was a 4-pound bag when we was growing.
A small difference. We make sure that you go ahead and let the audience know we're here. We're joining you live, graciously hosted by KUAW this evening. And thank you for joining us from the 6 to 7 hours every Monday. And we got a special guest tonight. And I think is only properly introduced either with himself or here. We got a special guest. We got new school, but he's all old school inside. I just talked with the brother. He's way ahead of his years. Set it up, man.
Oh man,
set it up. I won't do it any justice.
No, I promise I'll get it next week.
Right.
I know what you're talking about. You talking about what we was doing in the car?
No. We got True with us today.
Oh well, yeah. Well, for instance, because my son knows everything that we talk about. I try to instill it in him just to give back, and I always tell him all the time that I wish if I had one wish, I could take you back to one summer to let you see how the summers were. And he'll tell the listeners why he likes to sit around me and his aunties and them. What you like to hear us talk about?
Well, thank you for having me today too. The reason why I like hearing my dad talk about old school and how he enjoyed his time in his youth and his prime, because it just seems like it was such a greater time to enjoy being around family and friends. Like you actually could do stuff instead of my generation just sitting on a screen, just hurting your brain and your eyes. You could actually feel the air run through your hair and just enjoy playing and getting exercise and you can grow up having these memories instead of, just making short-term memories. You have long-term memories to enjoy you until your grave, and you can always talk back and smile on the good moments that you've had with your family and friends. That's why I enjoy listening to my dad and my uncles talk about this kind of stuff, is because I wish I could do that. I'm not like every other kid in this generation. I like to get out and play in the mud and to enjoy the air, and that's just me, and I think I get that from my dad. But that's what I enjoy most of all about having him as my dad, is I get to listen to all these cool memories and all this candy and stuff that he talks about. I wish I could enjoy that too.
And them whoopings.
I still get them whoopings.
It's not a good old school story without that.
That transferred down.
But no, and so the thing of it is, man, it's like I tell him, man, it just seemed like the summers lasted forever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The music and stuff we had, everything was on our tapes. It had a meaning.
Every song you listen to, if you was going through something in your life, you had a song you could relate to. You could go right to that song and play it and relate to whatever you was going through at that moment. It didn't matter when.
That's heavy that you say that.
Yeah,
Just
happy, sad.
When
Yeah.
you done, go ahead. You finish your thought. I want to pick it
or
jump off that.
Timeless music. You can't put a time
Right.
on it. To this day, you can still play that music and get people to move and groove.
Yeah.
That's why they call it that.
I think that's probably one of the most old school things about me. And I'm gonna break this down. What I mean by that is that I can vividly remember things having a meaning. Now, what do I mean by that? So we live in a day and age where entertainment for the sake of entertainment it's a phenomenon. Like, it just looks good, which, I mean, I'm not putting it down or saying anything. It just sounds good. That's it. Don't overthink it. It just sounds good. It just tastes good. Don't overthink it. We don't need to know what's in it necessarily, what it's supposed to do. It just tastes good, right? But I feel like really part of a big thing of the era when I came in, where if it came on Saturday morning, it had a theme. And it was like, the theme of the story is. Even the Saturday, what do they call it? The after school specials.
No, or what was the school? Remember all the Schoolhouse Rock songs?
Yeah.
Like the dude that said, I'm just a bill.
Right.
Sitting on Capitol
He
Hill.
said out on Capitol Hill. Right, right. Everything seemed to have a theme. So you were learning something. You were getting something out of it. Even the food we were eating, it was being prepared and it tastes good. But see, these were tomatoes. They might have been fried. You know, this was okra. This was chicken that was got from the barn. You know what I'm saying?
Imagine coming from a generation of women who look you in your face and say, now go to the store and get this, that, and this. But if you bring me anything boxed back, we're going to have problems. Because dressing, macaroni, scratch.
Right.
Layer by layer.
Well, there was a pride in that,
I was
right?
in the kitchen with my grandmother when I was probably 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Learning how to cook. She's showing me layer by layer. I've spent the 24 hours on Thanksgiving, Christmas, all-nighters with her.
Right.
She's showing me step by step.
So did your family have recipes that weren't supposed to be out and just talked about if you learned it?
Yeah. But I'm talking about, it was so cold though. Like he was saying, Granny and them taught us. And even when they was teaching us how to cook, they was like, so you ain't got to grow up and depend on nobody to cook. And it started by, you know, Grandma, can I stir it? Right. Can I crack the eggs? Right. You know, they even taught you the art of cracking the eggs so you didn't get the shells in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want to open the can of the biscuits. I mean, everything was just a grand time. And like we always tell my son, they have been robbed of a childhood. Oh my God. I mean, they just don't understand, man. They'll never see the kind of grandmas we had.
It's rare.
You know what I'm saying? We had them grandmas, man, whose every allegiance was pledged to that family in that house. And to just be able to cook today, we chasing the flavors. I mean, man, look at the utensils we had back in the day.
Yeah.
That rolling pin. Remember that rolling pin?
It was heavy.
And that black cast iron skillet.
Right.
And then you remember how we used to keep the grease jars on the stove?
Yeah, reusing
it. Yeah. That Miss Tucker's can on there full of grease. Right. Then you'll be sitting there eating your pancakes next Saturday and they taste like fried chicken.
Right.
Your pancakes is tasting like that chicken. But it was fire. But it was fire. Right. You know what I'm saying?
That cast iron gets the just right crispiness on it too. Yeah.
Oh, that cast iron.
Yeah.
You know, but I found out today that the cast iron ain't even made for these stoves we got now. Oh, you got to have a straight flame coming off there. You'll burn the bottom of it up. Have you
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then
so it's not completely iron, is what you're saying.
Well, I don't know if they might have changed that too. They don't
go in the oven.
They done changed.
You got to spend. You spending the real money to get it.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is there was a time, you said something there. There was a time where there was a community around you where their only mission was to take care of family. And what I mean by that is that it's not every waking hour I'm going to wait. I got my day set up just to take care of the family. But that was a priority on looking out for the family. That was the mission. And if you got one individual in a community that's their mission, that it's not, I got to get and I'm not criticizing anybody. So I'll put it on me. It's not that I got to get my hair cut. I got to be here at this certain time so I can do something that just serves me. Right. At the end of the day, I need everybody in bed so I can take care of me. But I'm built in a way that my priorities are in a way, I carry a certain wisdom in a way that this is important to me. And so subsequently, everybody that was a part of that care, or that was a part of that love, experience something that, hey, what we're saying is very rare.
But
because it's a rare person. It's rare to find a person that dedicated.
But see, the love was just because our grandparents and people that raised us knew what Saturday mornings consisted of. You know, the first thing that was on was the Super Friends with the Justice League versus the Legion of Doom. You had everything, man. I'm talking about the show, but
my lineup was He-Man. So this is my era right here.
All right, I'm gonna give you mine.
He-Man hit you with He-Man made me do push-ups. So I didn't want nothing to do. I started looking at He-Man. I'm saying, look how He-Man, and then G.I. Joe came on right after that. So I had to hit my push-ups for He-Man. I hit my push-ups for G.I. Joe. And then when I went outside, I started trying to bust heads because I done watched all that violence throughout the morning. And then it ended with Transformers. And then it was cut off for the week. Well, so I was there for the week.
But
no more cartoons true on TV for the day.
Our lineup was, because, you know, I'm a little bit older than you, but we had Batman and Robin where the screen was tilted to the side. We had Tarzan, you know what I'm saying? And then Fat Albert was the last of our lineup. But at 1 o'clock was Black Belt Theater. Yeah. It was all karate. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I came up in that area. Yeah.
Imagine running home for Monster Week.
Oh, yeah. After school.
Literally ran home
to watch Monster Week. Godzilla and versus the King Kong. And you couldn't tell us that wasn't real.
Right. You know? The turtles.
That's something.
Even though now we got to give it props. King Kong whooped Godzilla though. He whooped him though. I mean, you know, back when we grew up, everybody liked Godzilla, but King Kong was throwing them hands with him though. I mean, King Kong was cool with him till Godzilla put that fire on him. Hey, but I mean, everything that we had kept us in the moderation of a child, and then the things and the snacks or whatever that they told you would be able to get. I'm talking about, I know it wasn't nothing but a grilled cheese sandwich, but man, whatever our grandma did, whatever she did to make the grilled cheese, you know what I'm saying? And then, like I tell my sons, you know, y'all got this country crock and shed spread, but we had them blocks of butter. They just said USA butter.
It was a box.
Yeah,
it was the
USA.
It was probably a 3x3.
Man, that square was, man, that joker was
a block of butter. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And during the summer, you ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
You ate every day, 3 times a day.
Right. And like my nephew talked about how they're glued to screens and all that. We broke our neck to go outside.
Oh man, we would
want to be inside.
Hey, I tell my son, we would tell people, look, man, if you go in, they gonna make us all go in. If you go in, we gonna beat you up.
That was the thing. No going in and out.
No, no. And if you got thirsty, man, nothing was better than that water hose off that water. Man, you let that joker. Yeah, man, you let that water run, and then everybody passed that hose. Boy, that water was good.
I don't know. It was earthy. It had an earth taste.
Mixed with that hose.
Mixed with it,
yeah. What about, can you ride your bike to school grounds?
Ooh, that was
when the schools was closed and we up at the school ground
on our bikes all day. Yep. And knew contest. Hey, and knew that
say that stunts.
Oh, the stunt. Oh, hold on. Remember this? See, that's why I think some mornings when I wake up, man, I'm so sore, I'm hurting, because it was a lot of times I think I really should have went to the hospital.
Oh yeah.
But if you went home, I
didn't have no business trying.
But no, because if you went home and your arm or something was broke, you getting beat. You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't go to the hospital for everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was
a bill. Everything was a bill. Yeah.
Man, all you needed was about 3 or 4 skull caps, 7 t-shirts, put a bottle of that Vicks Vapor Rub on your neck, your ears, and your chest. And then they
swallow a little too.
But you know what pill made you do good? Once you stayed home from school, but then you think around 3:30, man, I'm feeling a little bit better. Now you was sick all day, so you ain't coming out that room, and you knew we didn't want to play that being sick again. But the remedies that we had at home was the iodine, and the only thing every kid was scared of was alcohol. Yeah. Don't put no alcohol.
Oil. Right.
You talking about to take for that laxative and all that type of stuff.
Castor oil. Well, think about it. Yeah, we know that it's probably related to the gut, but it was used for not feeling well in general.
Yeah.
Take you back older than that.
Which is genius because
I can take you back older than that.
Go ahead.
Rock candy in the pharmacy. You have to be really old school to know about the rock
The
candy.
rock
They
candy.
mixed with the medicine. Yeah.
No, then you go ahead. You
Yeah.
putting me on something
Right,
there.
yeah.
Well,
Go ahead.
the two cough syrups that was really good though was that Contact Junior and that Vicks 44D Cherry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now that old cheap stuff they give you when you go to the hospital, that old pink stuff that look like Pepto Bismol, you know, and you got to keep it cold. The amoxicillin, it don't do nothing for you. But that Vicks 44D
Right.
Cherry, oh boy, I love when we got to a point we got 2 tablespoons of it because it was straight up sweet.
Right.
But it's just like our candy. How come didn't nobody ever like the black licorice or the black jelly beans?
Nastiest one to go.
Still nasty.
Right. Yeah, but you always had that one kid that loved it. You know what I'm saying?
We got a
Give me
couple.
all the black.
We got a couple comments, just some things to bring in, and we definitely want to hear from you this evening. This is going to be one of those things to where I want you to take it up on yourself to understand that there's a generation that's never going to really know these experiences. We live in a different way, a different time. It's not neither bad nor good, in my opinion. It's what it is. You know, real time is what it is. It's a gift. But we have a time to where there's kids who are experiencing nothing but after school. What we're talking about, the after school experiences where maybe you were getting ready to go outside. And let's just keep it real. There wasn't gunplay like it is now, but a fight was a big deal. And a fight taught you something because that fight was maybe where you gained your best friend at. And y'all tackled life for the year together.
But not only
that big monumental fight that y'all had to have because what I mean, you know.
But not only that, it was because your mama would
Right.
take you back around there and be like, we getting ready to go back in this car, and I don't care who over there. If you don't go whoop him, I'm beating you when you come home.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
No,
then,
I definitely heard that.
or then
Yeah.
if you ran into one of them families that had a big family,
Yeah.
that had the aunties and stuff, and then you got to get your aunties. But that's even when grandma said, all of us got a ride. Everybody. I mean, that's just how it was. They didn't
Right.
they didn't tell you to go to school and just bother nobody and fight, but they did
No, it
make
was-
it mandatory that if anybody, to protect yourself. And if your family was there and they didn't help when you
Oh, it
got
was
home,
Right.
it was gonna be on.
And new school, what we're saying here, old school as well, is what Duran's saying is simply this. That is the highest level of violence we remember.
Right.
The gunplay thing was vague. It was
almost
far
unheard of.
near.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, that's what he's relating to, the difference, you defending yourself, and when it's done, you either friends or foes,
Right.
But
Yeah.
but
Thank
see,
you for
but,
clarifying that. Yeah. Add more to that.
but
Sure.
see, it wasn't even just that. The joys of being a kid was when you finally got back to the neighborhood and the street lights was on. Man, we was excited because we would be like, damn, y'all smell that? Man, somebody's mama's making chicken.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm talking about
Man,
the
it
chicken.
got to the point you was hoping somebody invite you over. You
Yeah.
invited yourself over.
Yeah. And
smell greens and chicken and cabbage from the corner of your block.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's love, man. That's some
Right.
serious cooking.
Some serious
on a
cooking
weeknight.
going on at
Box can't
five,
do that.
6,
No.
Box school can't
On a
do it, so-
weeknight. And then the
on
only
a
time
weeknight.
and the only time you ate something bad was when it might have been one of them Swanson TV dinners. But back when we grew up, a TV dinner was a meal, man. You had the
Yeah.
3 pieces of chicken in there.
Yeah.
And what was that
Corn,
same
mashed
little
potato,
brown
maybe.
piece of
Little
cake that
brownie,
came
it
in?
was
them?
a brownie.
Was it a cake or
It
a
was
brownie?
Yeah.
I never knew what that was, but that thing came in with the mashed potatoes
Right.
and the mixed
That was
vegetables.
before Hungry Jack's. They was serving them already big like that.
That's what I'm saying. It was
Yeah.
Swanson,
Right.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, like you said, it wasn't no Egos. And like Mr. Walker was telling us, if you had Tang in your kitchen, y'all had money, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We had Kool-Aid, and the only step below the Kool-Aid was the Flavor Aid with the 2 kids on the front of the pack. Remember?
Right. Imagine.
And that didn't mix up like the Kool-Aid.
And then being hands-on as a kid, as a boy, teaching yourself how to be hands-on. Fixing your own skateboard, fixing your own bike. You know what I mean? Building ramps. Building go-karts from scratch.
Because your parents didn't tell you when you got that bike at 9, that's carrying you till you 15. So if that joker go on a flat and it's broke, you ain't getting it. You had to learn how to fix it. We did everything though, dog. I'm talking about when we first did get the BB guns. I thought that was a thrill. I used to hide mine outside the house because my mama wouldn't let us have no guns. But when you got that BB, but even as a kid though, man, everything that we had was just good. Your grandma and them could make peanut butter and jelly, and you know it's just the same. Like a gourmet meal. But see, you gotta have the right ingredients. It was not that cheap stuff at Aldi's. It had to be Skippy, and it had to either be Smucker's Grape or Welch's Grape. Any of that jelly that they got at Walmart, great value, just to say it's Concord Grape.
Right it's like peanut butter and jelly in the same container.
Well, now hold on. That was that Goober Grape. Remember where it was both mixed in the jar? It did taste like medicine back when we was kids. But it was I mean, the stuff that they could just get you to do if they be like, man, y'all hurry up and get clean. I'm gonna give y'all one of them freezer pops. And remember them things that we used to put in the freezer and it freeze up hard? And then the first time you suck it like 2 times, the whole inside turning to ice. But they ain't made like they were. They cut them. They cut them.
Even the juices don't have sugar.
You talking about them cheap juices that you peel a little fall off of them?
Yeah, right. Right. You know?
Yeah. Everything.
Hey, or imagine the cooks, if you was in 6th grade or a higher class, like whatever school, the highest class, getting seconds, or the cook coming outside the kitchen, giving you a hug like she's kin to you, you know, giving you that.
Well, like we said a couple weeks ago, the women that worked in this cafeteria, they reminded you like your aunties and them.
Extension of home.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm talking about, because man, my best lunch we used to have at church at school was that turkey and gravy. And it had that yellow gravy.
Oh, yeah.
It was turkey, chunks poured over. That was my favorite one. And then you could, back when you could drink milk, we could just drink all the milk that was at the table. You know what I'm saying? The cookies. But even if you came to school late from a doctor's appointment, as soon as you got out the car, you could smell the lunch was cooking. You know, it's damn almost time to be the lunch. And it was just the whole fact of everything, man. You know what I'm saying? Just
even the neighborhood community center or the boys club. You go there, you got your boys club card, you know, they feed you twice a day. You know,
snacks.
You know, just extended that throughout the entire neighborhood.
But now,
it was a community.
But now
socializing. But when your mom or if whoever you had, they brought their friends over and they had kids,
right?
And they would tell you to go outside or they would tell you to go in the room, or whatever. And you had your own experience. You had. Yeah, you was nervous. Sometimes you was just meeting people.
But eventually, hey,
y'all just kicked it. Yeah.
You know, she had to drag you to get back in the car.
Exactly.
Come on, you know?
Exactly.
And then when you got back in the car, you can't find your sock. You missing your shoe. Your mama say, girl, if you find this shoe, just call me. I'll be over to come get it tomorrow. I don't know why. Everywhere we go, he got to take his shoes off. But I think that was but I think when we took our shoes off, it was to let us know we was there for a while.
You was home.
Yeah.
This is family. Right.
I feel like it's extension.
Yeah.
Everywhere you went was extension of your household.
Yeah. Yeah. And eventually, sometimes you got to the point to where they was like, just call me auntie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That
you couldn't call no
cousins.
Man, you couldn't call nobody grown.
Everybody had I had at least 5 women that really wasn't my
inherited
but
auntie.
You can't tell them, to this day.
Yeah.
My grandmother's homegirl, they
no doubt.
Truck, station wagon.
That's that community.
Real deal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Auntie so-and-so.
And then the reason why people
they came through like real auntie.
Right.
But the reason why
stuff
wasn't getting stole a lot when people was breaking in houses is remember them TVs we had? They had the record player and the TV. I'm talking about when somebody finally moved, that thing sat in that spot for 20 years. The carpet would never be right because that joker was heavy, man. The TV was built into the record player.
Yeah.
And then
you didn't get rid of floor models. You just put a TV on top
of it.
It ended up being a dresser.
A
counter.
A dresser
counter space.
But where do you think they got them plastic runners that went from the front door all the way to the dining room?
Right.
Wasn't them the ugliest days?
Hey, but you know what? You get no snow, rain, nothing. Hey,
you're right.
You got 20 years of carpet that still look like it's brand new. furniture. When they did finally get to the plastic out, that's when they gave it to their great grandchild for their first house.
I'm talking about they had plastic on the furniture.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It just stuck
that
to you.
Grab you when you take a nap on it. Yeah, it's hard to get up out.
Hard.
Right.
We got a commenter who broke down, who introduced belly wash. Who knows anything about belly wash? And I'm encouraging her to call in.
Well, tell her to call in, but hold on, cuz.
More about belly
remember
wash.
the rubber things that hung on the back of the door when we was kids?
That served several purposes. Yeah.
But they always lied to me and told me it was for if you had a stomach ache.
Right, yeah.
Hey, and then look, I told my son, remember we was happy when remember when you had ivory soap and it could float in the tub. Now I wouldn't use ivory now, boy, but back in them days, man, we was using ivory and your skin.
It dried out, boy. Right. Dried out like a mug.
It was safe to air the house out on a regular. All windows open, front door, back door. Didn't worry about nobody coming in your backyard.
No.
Walking in your house, none of that.
Windows would be up and that breeze would just be coming through there, man.
The air conditioner came on that it went as far as you could.
But remember when you trying to watch TV and grandpa or uncle had to wrestle with them antennas to get the station.
Right.
To get the station to come in. And it wasn't nothing but what? Channel 4, 5, 9, 19, 41, and 62.
But you had some great shows that came on.
Yeah.
You remember
Different strokes?
When you got to stay up late enough to watch the late night shows? When you finally started.
You talking about Friday night on Friday?
Or that.
Friday night was scary, though.
Yeah.
Because that skull would always be laughing. And the same man is still alive right now. Ray Adams, Toyota man. Remember?
Yeah. Or how about when TV actually went off?
It went off. That's when you knew you stayed up late.
Right. You hit a platform.
All your cousins, you got 2 or 3 of them in one bed. But then you watch one of them scary movies that you really wasn't supposed to be watching. And now you can't go to sleep.
Right. Or it wasn't embarrassing to go to your family house and they'd be like, well, we don't have a lot of room. Just give me a pillow and blanket. I'll lay on the floor.
That's all you, man. But
you drove all the way out of town.
But everybody wanted to make a pallet. Everybody wanted to make a pallet.
Yeah. Look, Auntie, I just lay right here on this floor and I'll be fine. Get up, freshen up, and you have a house full of your family from down south or whatever, everybody there. And it was love, man.
Yeah.
When was the last time you watched Swamp Thing or Frankenstein and you just looked at how the graphics was compared to what they are today? So I'm gonna ask True. We got True here. Do you remember when you was coming up and you needed your parents to come in there, or did that happen for you where you woke up in the middle of the night? So here we were watching these just bad makeup, bad seeming they just wasn't the science wasn't there. But the really psychology in them, like Birds. I was scared of Alfred Hitchcock in itself. Yeah. He really wasn't like a gory, cut off heads, cut off arms, but the storyline was so scary, it messed with you.
Like, what movie do you think that you watched that really scared you?
That would have to be hard because I never was really into scary movies because I would just have like nightmares after nightmares of just like vampires.
No, do you want me to tell
that Chris Brown video? Where it had the vampires in it. You remember that? And I watched that every night.
Well, Thriller did that. I ain't gonna lie. Thriller got me.
Let me tell you the movie that scared him for real. And his mama called me and said, "What did you have him over there watching? Because he's in the bed with me." It was Jaws.
Oh man,
Jaws got me.
There's this movie called Yeti, and he would just kill humans and then just eat its heart. And he'd look at the screen like with blood on his mouth. I'd just be like,
"Hey!" And I'm sitting there watching them. I'm in the other room doing something, and they watching Jaws. But you remember when we was growing up, we was scared of Jaws too, though. Yeah,
Jaws had you concerned about some water. You could be in a lake, and you thought.
You thought about Jaws
might be up in here.
But that's another thing. Everybody watched TV together as a family.
Yeah.
Everybody sit down and ate together. But no she's in the room eating her food, and the other one.
I got to get my auntie a shout out on this one.
Yeah.
Hey, hold
we
on.
had
Before
popcorns and she had 3 solid styles of popcorn.
was it the Jolly Time you shook on the stove and it
Oh
popped
man,
out?
we had hot sauce and
Oh,
popcorn. You had the cheese, the cheddar spray, like you said. You could make it butter style. It might be plain.
Yeah, you had some money.
Yeah.
Somebody in your family had a good job.
Right.
That Jolly Time, you just shook it over the burner
Right.
and it just popped.
Right.
But you know, it don't even pop like it does now, though.
Right.
Back when it popped back then, it popped.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
I'm making a microwave in this first 2 minutes.
I mean, my favorite thing was chocolate milk. Man, when you made that chocolate milk at home, but I'm talking about when you broke it down, not the Hershey syrup and the Nestle's Quick, but you remember how to make the chocolate milk out of the straight Hershey's baking powder. That little tin can, because you had to mix a little bit of the chocolate in there with a little bit of sugar water to make it chocolate first, and then put the milk in there. But even back in them days, remember how the milk was so fire that when you drunk it, it would give you a mustache? It's so thin and cheap now, man. The milk don't do nothing.
So you had a legit mustache.
Or the ice. Remember the ice trays and the ice cold water out of the
ice tray.
out the miracle
the metal ice tray.
Yeah, where you lift up the lever.
Yeah.
And
I
it just
got 2 of those right now. To this day.
Just for
where you
nostalgia's
lift up the
sake.
whole lever.
Where you get it from? You get it from
I
Target?
gave it to them.
Oh, okay.
And I
You got
sure
hand,
took
though.
them too.
Yeah.
They like, do you know what this is? You know what this is? You can have some real ice trays. Yeah.
My aunt, she had collections around the house, and one of the privileges that I had, not only that we have the phone that you could pick up, you know, that had the wire connected to it, but she actually had one of those old ones where you had to tap it. And I can't think of the names of the phones, but just the variations of phones.
But that one that we grew up with the rotary dial.
Yeah.
No wonder if the killer broke in your house, he'd kill you.
You had to wait for it to come all the way back.
I mean, look how long when you go all the way over to 9 and then go to 1, and then by the time you get that last thing. But I'm gonna tell you what, and when you knock that phone off and you hear it hit the floor, you just hear the bell ring.
Yeah.
It was heavy.
Yeah, it was a heavy phone. Yeah.
I mean, we actually dialed people's numbers 9.
Well, you remembered numbers, right? You had at least 10 numbers on in your head, which always brings me back to, man, I need to do that. I have to start remembering numbers, and I just get lazy with it. But you could ring off numbers like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it was the lady you liked or whatever it was.
And it dials.
Just type in the name.
Yeah.
Or when your line was busy for so long, and then somebody just call in, excuse me, this is the operator. We have an emergency breakthrough. And next thing you know, well, go ahead, and then it's your mama. Boy, I've been calling the house for an hour and a half. And you know, when they get an emergency breakthrough.
You only had the one line, no doubt.
Yeah, because you could go.
No busy, you just got a busy signal.
The operator could call and do an emergency breakthrough. But do you remember when everybody could dial the number to tell you the whole time, date, and everything? It was 844, whatever number you want to dial.
Right. For information. Yep. Oh man. So, you know, just getting back to remembering, you know, it's important. We're not, you know, old school isn't about going back in the past, and we're going to go ahead and take a little break here because we are getting to the
and
midpoint.
We just want a couple of listeners to call in and somebody give me the ultimate Kool-Aid mix. I thought mine was lemonade and orange.
Orange and purple for me. Great. Orange and purple.
Well, you know, we got Kool-Aid. We got to do Kool-Aid lady tonight. If you can call in, and you give us a story that's going to put us all in stitches, or it's just something that's going to take us back and bring such a sweet memory, we've got one of our special exclusive candles that we're going to send to you. It's going to be on us. We got to send you the old school candy lady, you know. So as it's a great smelling one. So we're going to go ahead and take a little recess here. Please go get your popcorn. As the popcorn has come up, I see one of our listeners has mentioned that, yes, popcorn was special to us growing up. And being able to sit and just really watch some wholesome TV. So we're going to take a little break, a little recess here. We'll catch you coming back as we finish up the hour.
And we can't forget the daycare cookies. I'm going to hit them next.
They was fire though. Man, I'm the cookies.
Yeah.
The pink and the chocolate one.
Ooh, man, you talking about them wafers?
Yeah.
So what we doing? We getting these people paying attention?
People don't even keep cookie jars in their house.
We might do this for one more week. We might have to do this.
We gotta interact with the people. We gotta get them involved, tell them their stories. This is it. Everybody. I mean, I want to hear more about this belly juice.
But no, it's
Belly wash.
Belly wash.
I wonder if they talking about that thing you had to wash by hand. You had to wash your clothes by hand.
the belly wash.
It sounds like that little thing.
No, that was that. Mr. Walker, what's the belly wash?
I don't know. I think that was.
I think we'll do this one more week because see they like this, man. Because you make it.
But you don't remember Fat Daddy's? That pie with that beef inside, potatoes deep inside. We call them Fat Daddy's.
It's really called a shepherd's pie.
Pie, right? Yeah.
But it's called Fat Daddy. What'd you say?
Get some people to call in or get some people to keep writing in their old school experiences. We got new people joining.
Well, I'll just say whoever can write us or
tell
call
them to give
in.
us a shout out too. Like,
You go ahead and tell them to call in and give them the number.
All right. Let me see. Is it up there? I gotta find it. I know.
There it is.
Right here. Yeah. Jerry, keep bringing them stories, man. You got to go back to the CDs. If you got to go back to some of the stuff you brought up in the CDs, we need some of that old school. You bring it. You put it in such a way, man. It's unique.
Unlimited.
There you go.
Unlimited. Let's go to that unlimited. We on. You're back with us, KUAW. This is the Old School Radio Hour. Man, we're having a good time up here this evening, you all. You know, we're going back and we're remembering, not for the sake of staying there, not for the sake of giving up, not for the sake of not living our lives, but for the sake of going back and remembering the gifts that were handed to us. You know, at Old School, we understand that we were given something, and that gift of that wisdom is not just for us. We're supposed to carry that baton and represent it in our households and understand that we are part of a community. So what we want to hear this evening, as we're getting ready to wrap it up, we got the half-hour point, and we want to hear your stories. We want you to write them out on Facebook. We want to see your comments, and we'll mention them here online, on air, that is. We want you to call in. The number is 816-599-6893. Again, 816-599-6893.
So I just want to come in and say, you know, and then because back when we had, remember the cookies that you could just put in the refrigerator and they would sit in that joker for about a week. And all they did was just really get cold and hard. It was them daycare, them babysitter cookies.
You talking about the cream ones?
The duplexes. It was a chocolate roll down the middle, and you had the two yellow ones.
Yeah.
But here's my thing. I never understood this. Why would they tell you to go get your switch? Knowing if you go, you're going to go out there and get something that's going to break.
Think about the word, though, switch. And I didn't think about that until I heard somebody say it. You getting ready to switch some behavior.
Right.
That's what's getting ready to happen.
Right.
So the whole thing is you're going to go out and get your own switch, because maybe while you out there, you thinking about your behavior. And I was thinking about my behavior. I was also thinking about what my future was about to be. So I got the smallest switch, or I got the largest switch. I got a stick. And I was going to bring in there and test this love, because I was like, these people love me, but they got me going out and getting my own switch.
And they would always say, me whooping you hurts me more than it's going to hurt you. And at the time, we was thinking like, but you know, when you understand it now, right. And it was just like, if it was really a such thing as child abuse, all our families would still be doing time. Some of the things we got hit with.
Whatever was available. Yeah.
It was whatever was available. Yeah. But even everything, like for instance, the irons we had back in there sent you to the hospital though. If that iron was plugged up and you touched it, it made your fingers stick to it.
You was losing.
Remember them big steel irons that had that cloth cord?
Right. Oh yeah, I know it. Yeah. We had one of those at a point. Yeah.
The closest thing to timeout was you couldn't go outside.
No,
that was horrible. That was worse than the
that was devastating.
Right? Yeah,
because you hear everybody out there playing.
Yeah, and we've talked about it. Daytime bedtime.
Being in the bed right now. And I would say, hey, man, just go knock on the door and ask her, can I come out for a little bit? And I would hear my mama, no, he can't come out. Get off my porch and stay away from my door. And he'll be like, man, I tried.
Okay, you got it. Hey, we definitely want to hear.
All right, looks like we may have a caller calling in. Hello, you online with Old School?
Yo, Old School, man. This is Les.
What's going on, Les?
What's up, bro?
Nothing. What you got going, man?
Man, I hear y'all here talking about how the switch and how your parents used to whoop you, man. Brought me back to a time my mom got me and my little brother, my older brother. I want to tell y'all about it.
Go ahead.
All right, so check it out. One time we was at the house. I don't know what happened, but me and my brother, I think we had got into it, right?
Yeah.
But we heard my mom come up the stairs. I think he must have been about, probably about 8, 9 in that area, right? Because he's only a year older than me. So we heard her come up the stairs. We was getting into it. She heard us. She come up the stairs. And we knew she was coming. So we ran and we got underneath the bed. We had one twin mattress. Me and my brother, we shared a bed that time. So we, he slept on the top, I slept on the bottom. So, we ran and got underneath the bed, right?
Yeah.
And, Mom was so powerful, man. I was scared to death. I was scared of my pops, but I was scared to death of my mom, man. She was just so powerful, man. And this day kind of set it straight for me, because she ran in the room and she looked around and she went, you just knew. You knew she was in there. The door swung open and she grabbed the edge of the bed like the Hulk. Grabbed the edge of the bed and just flipped it.
Damn. And y'all sitting up under the hide.
The box spring, the mattress, she just flipped it. And we just screamed, man. And I was terrified, bro. And she grabbed my brother first. She grabbed him first. So I tried to make a move for the door. And it's like the belt. I don't know if it was her hand or what. Something grabbed me.
That was that belt.
Man, something grabbed me, man. But she had my bro already. So I just thought she was occupied, but she had him. And she was still able to grab me. And I don't know if it was the fact that the whooping that we got after that, you know what I mean, that I was so afraid of my mom's for, or was it the fact that she flipped the mattress? Because back then, you 8 or 9 years old, the mattress was heavy.
Right. Heck yeah, that was them real ones that had straight duck feathers in them.
That was the real one.
Duck feathers.
Yes. Hey, well, before we let you go, thank you for calling in. And if nobody else calls in from now till we get done, you have a free gift coming off the catalog. But I want to know, what was your favorite Kool-Aid when you was growing up? Was it Tang or Kool-Aid?
All right, look, man, we didn't do Kool-Aid too much, but we did do Save-A-Lot. We did the old juice that would come in the packages. You have to bust it open like a can of biscuits or something like that.
Yeah.
And you blend it up.
Oh, you talking about like the old school concentrate orange juice. All right, we'll give you a pass. We'll give you a pass on that, man. But thank you for calling in. We appreciate everything.
Thank you, Les.
Word. Yeah, I feel it.
Hey,
all right.
He brought up 2 things that were solid about the old school. Was just the way you felt about your parents. Charles Barkley, given the gripe that you do, he deserves some of it. We talked about role models and why your parents deserve to be a role model and your hero, because you felt some kind of supernatural way about your parents. And that parent that disciplined you, or that grandma that disciplined you, and we often talk about this at Old School, why that grandmother was so deserving, because she wasn't that fast. For all we know, she couldn't pick up a car. She wasn't known for her strength, but nobody tested her. And it was for reason had to be earned. You know what I'm saying? And that healthy fear is something that we got to get back to, because it's good for a child to be scared, not scared in the point to where, I'm gonna get abused, but a healthy fear that this is the adult and this is who takes care of me. And if I'm out of line, hey, some of them used to say it. I don't know what I'll do to you if you raise your hand at me.
It was in knowledge, and they was always 2 steps ahead of you.
Oh, right.
They had a really smooth way of not showing none of that, so you never could really figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It was hard to figure out. Definitely,
So
definitely. The exchange of wits wasn't happening.
Yeah. It was just about, I know him real well. The next move he's going to do is this.
And you got to be watching. And they was watching you.
But check this out.
And didn't even know they was watching you like that. I'm coming in the house with stuff under my shirt. Thinking I'm taking it to the room. Come here. How many, you know what I'm saying? That's why this old school is so wonderful, because
but
sometimes you got to go back here just to parent better yourself.
But hold on, my family probably was responsible for my early life of criminal activity. I'm gonna tell you why.
Explain.
Because man, they would call you in there and say it's time to eat. Don't ask me what I'm making, and you gonna sit there and eat everything I put on your plate.
Right.
So now I'm already thinking, how do I get these Brussels sprouts or these beets
How do I
from
beat
here to the top? You know what I'm saying? So they'll think I ate them. You know what I'm saying? Because man, it was stuff that they gave us. But you know, now that I'm older, I mean, I don't eat no Brussels sprouts and no beets, but like I love broccoli though.
Yeah.
Like I went to 54th Street today and had the mashed potatoes and the broccoli, and it was just stuff, you know.
Unfortunately, though, that's man-made. It's not a real vegetable.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying they always made it. You was gonna eat some kind of vegetable.
Right, yeah.
It wasn't
That
gonna
was
be
the
like
first.
what these kids is eating today,
Right.
a Capri Sun and 33 pizza rolls. It wasn't gonna be nothing like that.
Shout out to all the women still cooking.
Yep. Shout out my little sister Cole.
You know,
I know
my
she
lady,
cooks.
All my sisters, especially my baby sisters. Oh man, still throw down
To all the ones that can actually still get in there.
and make a pot of neck bones with potatoes and green beans with that pot liquor, which I know about pot liquor.
See, the key to dating is when you do go to somebody's house and you waiting on her to get ready. You hear me, Mr. Walker? You waiting on her to get ready. You say, hey, man, can I go in your kitchen and make a glass of water? I'm looking in the cabinets. Because if I see the certain seasonings,
Right.
spoons and utensils,
Right, yeah.
couple of Jiffy boxes of cornbread, you know you might got one to keep.
Right.
But if you don't see nothing in there, man,
But McDonald's bags in the trash can, Sonics, and you know what I'm saying?
Hamburger helper.
Roman noodle packs, yeah, hamburger.
go ahead.
helper,
What was you
yeah.
gonna say, son?
One line that I think you guys might relate to if your grandma might have said it, but I hate when my mom said it, is I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. I hate that.
Well, because I think why you might hate it is because the way we hate it. If grandma said she wasn't mad at you, but I'm disappointed, you kind of knew that what you did,
It was kind of messed up.
it was messed up. And so that's sometimes gonna be worse than a whooping.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
You know, like old boy's daddy did on Boys in the Hood.
Right.
He didn't whoop him. When he got home and he saw that Trey was safe, he just shut the door. And Trey knew right then
Because that disappointed word hurts your soul.
it hurts your
You
soul.
can say I'm
Yes.
mad, it's just it's the surface right here. But they say I'm disappointed.
That hurts.
Yeah, it goes deep. Yeah, you know, like man, I really, she's really heated on this.
Hey, and then before we get through, ask the listeners, we getting such a good feedback. We might do this again next week. But out of all the candy bars, man, what do you think was the king of the candy bar? Was it the Snicker, Mr. Good
Now
bar?
laters.
No, I'm talking about out of the
Candy
candy
bar.
bars.
King of the candy
Paydays
bars.
or that $100,000 bar.
Man.
The
I
whatchamacallit.
wasn't I'm gonna be honest with you. See, I know I'm old school because it was baked goods.
Baked.
Baked. It had to be baked. So
But
even
I'm
when I
talking about you
converted
had
to
the candy bars when you went trick-or-treating. Because
Oh,
when we
okay.
went trick-or-treating when we was kids,
Yeah.
man, you came back with just bags. But you
Okay.
always had certain candies in that bag that was nasty.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm gonna say lemon heads.
You like the lemonade?
Lemon heads was it for me.
Lemon head, melon head,
Yeah.
melon.
Or
Alexander
taffy.
the Great.
Or taffy. But you said bars, but if it's had to be candy, it was lemon heads and taffy for me.
No, but I'm talking about the candy bars, the chocolate candy bars.
Yeah. I can't
Which
pick
one
man.
do you which
I'm-
one do you think was the best?
I was into Paydays, Butterfingers, and Three Musketeers.
You know which one I think was really
Butterfinger
nasty?
Was hard. Butterfinger was
That Milky Way.
yeah.
That's just like an off-brand Snicker.
It don't quite make the level of a Snicker.
You right. Hey, them Paydays was fire.
Right.
Them
They
Paydays
salty
was
as
fire.
heck, but they-
Hey,
Oh, they
Snickers
was
is getting
salty.
love, man. Snickers is getting love
Snickers,
on
they
the
thank you,
comment.
thank you.
Man, I went in Family Dollar and I seen a box of peanut brittle and I got excited. I must have took that home and I was just so disappointed.
Disappointing. Terrible. Trash.
Right.
Straight trash.
I was
But-
like, what the hell?
The Snickers is gonna be there. But man, I'm talking about like I didn't too much care for that whatchamacallit.
Nah,
My
nah.
girl eats those to this day and baked beans to this day.
The Boston baked beans.
Boston baked beans.
And I have to go to Quick Trip sometime to get her one. Whatchamacallit?
I
Man,
didn't
in
too
a
much.
pinch,
My
Boston
mom
baked
made that
beans are
squirt.
good in a
What was
pinch.
that gum that you chewed and squirted out stuff?
Oh, that was
Bubble yum.
no. He's talking about the gum that when you bite it, it had that
I know what you're saying.
liquid
Yeah.
in the inside.
What bubble yum?
That's
It-
not bubble yum.
No, it was one of them gums that they always had a commercial for. That was kind of like with the double mint commercial and stuff like that. It was one of them where you bite it and that jelly was in the inside.
If you know it, call in. If you know it, write it out for us. We're trying to figure out which gum. Now, was it a stick?
It was a square gum.
It was-
and
You
had
got to
like
come up
6
to the mic, son,
It was
cuz.
square. It had 6 in the package.
I know what you're talking about.
You chew it and it had little gel like.
It was supposed
Yeah.
to be the breath mint
I
stuff
know what you're
inside of
saying
it.
now. I know what you're saying now.
Not
Yeah.
Have a bubba?
No.
Nah.
No. They was all the same color, right?
But you don't
It was
remember
all
the
the same
gum with
color.
the zebra on it, with the stripes.
Yeah.
What was the stripes?
No.
Well, what about the chiclets?
Nah,
Just getting
I
gum
like
at school.
chicken.
Just
You
being
didn't
able
like
to
the
have gum
chiclets?
at school.
Man, you know what? I'm gonna say it. I'm not ashamed to say it, brothers out there. You could be the ugliest man in school, but if you had some double mint,
If you had
Ooh.
some
might
candy,
get that cute.
you
girl.
had,
You
yeah,
might get
you
that
had
cute
some play. If you had some,
Hang out with you.
Because
Yeah.
all the cute girls were always eating
Double
hot pickles and peppermints
hot pickles in the neighborhood. Yes,
Double mint.
for sure. Hot pickles.
and the double mint gum.
Man, if you could eat a whole hot pickle from a grocery store.
Well, that was back when they was really hot.
Wait, I think somebody said freshen up. Is that the
Freshen up. Hey, who is that person that said that, man?
It's Ron.
That was freshen up.
Yeah, freshen up.
It sure was when you bite it, that liquid
So we gotta send. We gotta. Rhonda came through in the clutch. We gotta.
came through in the clutch.
We gotta be able to do something. Do
But,
something for Rhonda.
So yeah, man, it's just times like this before it really got bad though. And because see, another thing with me, you know, I visualize food because I love food.
Oh, please.
Man, nothing was better than the Popeyes in the steel pan.
Oh yeah.
Now they don't
Had to
put
put it in the oven.
yeah, because it crisp up. Now it's in a box with no pan around it.
Wet nuke in the oven.
But here's the thing we're gonna do. We getting so much feedback and so many comments.
We'll do this again.
Then next week for sure, y'all old schoolers be ready, man. Because hey, y'all gonna give me enough time to think from now until next week, and it's really, really, really gonna be a good show. I just want to say before I go, thank you for allowing us to be here. My son was here, and he said he wants to come every Monday because he sees what's going on, and it's good. And I just want to tell all of you all to just think back and just find some type of way to implement. It might not be the old school, but just love your family, love your children, and love your significant other, and just love who you have in your family. And don't forget where we came from, because we really came from a golden time.
Oh man, this was refreshing. It was good for the mind. It was good for the body. And I just thank you all for joining us this evening. Your comments meant so much to gain insight, to experience this with you. Excuse me. And wrapping up, I just want to say it's absolutely very critical that you like and share, because this is really, I'm going to do it in 10 seconds what this old school is about. See, an elder told me this, that history doesn't necessarily repeat itself. We just forget. And so it's important that when we get in our stages to where we think life is not yielding, life is not good even, that it's very important that we remember that we remember somebody showed us love. Somebody thought about us. So as we wrap. It was good.
We don't keep stressing that.